Hi, everybody. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It's April 25th, 2021, 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking about NuCypher here, real quickly, before we continue on. Disclaimer, not financial advice. The opinion you do and you follow is your own, not mine, your own. However, it's good to take some inputs, and this is what video is about. In fact, it's for educational purposes and really to kind of talk about what I feel about it, whether you care or not for me to decide, but for you to think about as you start formulating your opinion on the right entry point into NuCypher. So now that we're done with the formalities, let's move on to the festivities. NuCypher USD still on that downward trend. I don't see that we're going to be going much further up. It's got a little small micro rally. We're not even at 40 cents yet. And if it does, I feel that this thing's probably going to go stay within the yellow line channel that you see on the screen. It's just it's got it looks like a W fake out pattern here, which may just start dropping again. Either way, let's skip over to Bitcoin because this is really what I still consider as the major driver for the price action that we're seeing in NuCypher. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the dilution effects that have been occurring in NuCypher's release schedule, but we'll talk about that a little later. But in terms of Bitcoin, which really has significant impact across all of the crypto market in terms of price, we're still within the range. If I take a zoom on here, let's quickly go here. I just recently drew these yellow lines to kind of reflect the downward trend. We have a very similar pattern here as we see with NuCypher. I fully anticipate that we'll continue to bounce our head against this this green ceiling and continue our downward trend. So keep your eye out on that. And again, I think tonight should be somewhat telling, probably in the wee hours or late tonight. So let's take a look again over at the NuCypher Bitcoin pair, which helps us get an idea of when we should actually get into NuCypher, right? It's not just about Bitcoin's price action, it's about the relationship of NuCypher to Bitcoin so that we can back into the NuCypher price. And if I've confused everyone, don't worry about what I'm saying right here. I'll give you an update on where I think the right entry points are in US dollar terms at the end of the video. So we're at 791. So for every NuCypher, you can get point whatever 79.1 Bitcoin. So this isn't really changed. I expect this to continue to go down. What it means is that you'll get more Bitcoin, and if you expect Bitcoin to go lower, this means you'll even get an even nicer, cheaper price for NuCypher. So this kind of sums up where we are in the market. And if I was to look at the latest current entry points, I'm 7.2. We're at 7. Okay, this is where I expect it to be. Nothing's changed here. So my low and high is like around, I'm expecting to dabble in between 32 and 34 and then start picking up some more steam at the 28 to 30 range. Okay, so back to dollar cost averaging, just a little bit on each as it hits lower supports in Bitcoin. I'll be picking up more and more NuCypher on the downtrend of Bitcoin. So keep your eye on the levels here. These are the levels synonymous with the levels that you see over here. And we keep your eye on this overnight, and etc. I'll put another quick release out late tonight because I think things should be starting to heat up tonight, and we'll see what's going on. The next part I want to talk about is NuCypher's release schedule, which everybody should be very well aware of. This is kind of like reading a prospectus, to be honest with you, where they can tell you how much they're going to float out there and dilute they're going to dilute shareholder value. So if you own coins, you kind of want to be here, but you don't really want to be owning it like here. So very recently, so these are basically the amounts of tokens that NuCypher will release over time. And they didn't really do a great job of breaking it out in terms of a running total sum. So really you have to like throw it into a spreadsheet. And that's exactly what I've done. So let's go and take a look and decrypt what it is that they put. God, they're so good at cryptology that they've made this release schedules very confusing to the average investor. So looking at this, and I've transposed all of this into this spreadsheet. So let's just take a look at this spreadsheet. So at the very beginning in October of 2020, they started out with 368 million or so coin in NuCypher. Through time, they've increased roughly around 2%, right? And was starting to drop down. There was a work lock release of 225 million NuCypher coins. That was a pretty big amount of dilution into the NuCypher market. So if you were holding it and then they threw out a bunch of 225 coins into the market, well, if you're valuing the company at 150 million, you're pretty much now valuing it at 100 million. So that could negatively impact your shareholder or coin holder value. Very significant. It looks like the bloodshed is over here, and then we're back down into a normal cycle of increases, which is normal. 1% is fine. There's an inflation subsidy as well. I'm not going to go into that right now, but just know that there was a significant event in mid-April where they pretty much dumped about 225 million. It was really owned by stakeholders of, the folks that did their staking back in October of 2020. So they get all this coin, and they probably wind up liquidating it. They probably wind up selling it to go and take their proceeds and free proceeds from it. So doesn't mean that everyone's done that. We don't really know how much of this 225 million coins were sold, but it's likely that some was, and certainly helped to dilute NuCypher. Anyway, so that's it for now. I'll post this. This is coming straight from the NuCypher site. I'll post this release schedule that they did. If you'd like, if you want to, just let me know if you guys want to see the NuCypher, my transposed worksheet here. It definitely helps clarify, the running total. This is circulating supply right now. We're around 640 million NuCypher coins out there. So have a look, and we will talk soon. Thanks again. Bye.